Hey, what's going on, folks? Larry, Packmaster's Dog Training. I wanted to put a little message out here. I sent Benji home yesterday, okay? The terrier mix that I had here. He was here for 3 weeks. That's what I have most dogs for. Fell in love with the dog, just absolutely amazing. I was able to, his obedience is off the charts. I mean, for a dog that came in with all these issues, I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. So yesterday was his go-home lesson, and his owner came down, drove a long way to be here. Super awesome dude, obviously very committed, has spent a ton of money and traveled really far because he cares about his dog and he loves his dog. But the one thing that really dawned on me and hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday, when we started working, well, let me just say, we talk about having success, real, true, everlasting success with these dogs that as trainers we teach. And I think the one thing as dog trainers we could all agree on, we all want the best results that we could possibly get. And I've said it 1,000 times before, everything I do, whatever success I have, is very, very little what I do. I'm 10% of the equation, the owners are 90% of the equation. So when someone asks me, how are you able to turn those dogs around like that, it's because of the owners. I have to have the ability to teach the owners as much as I can, and as long as they're committed to learning a little bit and being consistent, we're going to have good results. But it's on them. We owe the success to the owners that put in the work, plain and simple. And with that being said, it hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday. I sat down and I spoke to the owners for a good hour at least. I talk a lot, but that's a lot of it. I want to get across a lot of information to them, but at the same time keeping it simple and not overwhelming them and confusing them. And that's a fine line, and that takes years to really master, if you ever master it, you know what I mean? I change things around constantly trying to make it better for the owners. And then it was time to start working with the dog. And so I'm trying to transfer now what the owner needs to know how to continue success. But the one thing that dawned on me, at one point, the owner was smiling from ear to ear, and he was obviously super happy. And he said, "Wow." I said, "What's up?" He goes, "This dog," meaning Benji, "has never looked at me. Like, if we're just sitting here with him on a leash, he's going to be scanning about everything that's around." He goes, "But he's never looked up and made eye contact with me." And that one thing made him so happy, and it was so overwhelming, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, that's amazing. And when I looked at Benji, he was really tuned into his owner, man. He was on fire. He really was. He looked really good the way he was performing with his owner, and that made me super, super happy. Now, with that being said, guys, the owner's going to struggle when he goes home. He's not a dog trainer, okay? And he's too far for me to do follow-ups with, so I'll be doing a lot of follow-ups through video and online, and we'll be talking a lot, okay? That's what we need. That's the reality of it. So by the time that owner gets home, he's not going to remember everything. As a matter of fact, he's going to remember very little of what we did and what we said. So now I have to do little things with him daily to make him retain it and make him better. So what I've decided from there, I've always put so much emphasis on the owners, I'm sorry. But from now on, what I'm going to start doing again is anyone that trains their dog with me, especially through a board and train program, the education of the owner is going to take an even more important role from now on. So what I will be doing is, if you do a board and train with me, your education is unlimited for the life of the dog. We will work together as much as you want, and that's what you're going to be paying for. When you pay me for your board and train up front, it's not to have your dog trained, it's for your education. Education. And we're going to continue it for the life of the dog as long as you want to. And we're going to make it a lot more structured, and I'm going to do even a better job at teaching the owners what needs to be done. And so, with that being said, I will also be going back to doing group classes for all of my clients, board and trains and private sessions. Okay, I haven't done them in a long time. I used to hate doing them, but they were super beneficial. And I used to find myself apologizing at the end of every group class because it's just so boring, and people are like, "No, this is awesome, we need it." And they're right, they do need it, because what I do, guys, the group classes people aren't allowed to join my group classes. The only people that come to my group classes are people that have come through my program. So the dogs already have a certain amount of training, and so do the owners. So where the group classes are beneficial is now you get to put what you and your dog learned into real use, real practical life situations. And so from now on, we're going to up the results of every dog I work with, period. We're going to take it a lot further than anyone expects. So I want to take everyone's expectations of what they expect with their dog, and we're going to up it, okay? And I know the only way we can do that is to educate the owners a lot more and a lot better, and making things a lot easier and clearer for them, okay? So if you're a client of mine, we're going to really start kicking it in here, and we're going to help you understand everything you need to know about really kicking ass with your dog. And my goal is, and it's always been this, if you get another dog, you don't need to call me or any other dog trainer. You will know how to train your dog on your own. That's my ultimate goal, okay? So we'll get this started. I'm going to start implementing group classes on the weekends again for anyone who comes through my program, and we're going to train some dogs. We're going to train some dogs like you've never seen before. Promise. Peace.